Beloved soul, listen not with fear, but with the depth of spirit. A moment approaches, a day marked not by doom, but by revelation. You fear that on October 8, someone you hold close may give their time, their presence, or their heart to another. And though this thought shakes you, it is not sent to torment you. It is sent to awaken you. For the truth is this: no one can be taken from you who is meant to walk with you. No heart that is bound to yours in truth can be swayed by shadows. What you fear is not betrayal. What you fear is loss. And what must be revealed to you is strength. If a person chooses the company of another, it only exposes what was already hidden. If they drift toward another's arms, it is not a sign of your inadequacy, but of their unreadiness to meet your depth. October 8th is not a night of endings, but a mirror, a moment where illusion dissolves, where false ties unravel, and where the truth of someone's intentions finally steps into the light. But hear this clearly: you are not unprotected. You are not unseen. You are not losing anything that is meant for your destiny. If this person chooses another path, let it reveal what you must release. If they remain true, let their actions, not your fears, prove their loyalty. You are being prepared for connection that is genuine, for love that stands firm under heaven's witness, for companionship that honors your worth. So do not tremble at what you imagine. Stand strong in what is real, for no matter what unfolds on that night, you will rise, untouched by lies, guided by truth, and guarded beyond all earthly treachery. And the path ahead, your path, will shine clearer than ever before. Truth will reveal intentions clearly, not as a sudden blaze that startles the heart, but as a steady, patient illumination that grows stronger with every breath you take and every moment you choose to stand in awareness rather than fear. Truth does not rush. It does not slam into your life to punish or humiliate you. Instead, it unfolds with divine precision, revealing exactly what you need to see at the moment you are ready to see it. What you have questioned, doubted, or sensed in the small, quiet corners of your intuition is brought forward not to wound you, but to free you from the weight of uncertainty. When truth rises, it dismantles illusions that have trapped you in loops of overthinking, hoping, or trying to interpret the actions of someone whose behavior has remained clouded. It is not meant to break your spirit, but to clear the fog that has kept your heart suspended between yearning and confusion. You may fear what revelation might bring, because part of you has clung to possibilities, potential, and promises that were never fully spoken yet deeply felt. But truth does not come to steal hope. It comes to refine it. When intentions are revealed, they often appear in the simplest of actions: a message that never comes, a promise that is not kept, a moment of closeness that suddenly changes tone, a choice made when no one is watching. It is not always grand betrayal or dramatic collapse. Sometimes it is the quiet shift in someone's energy, the subtle distancing, the inconsistency that speaks louder than words ever could. Truth has a way of cutting through the noise, showing you what their heart is aligned with, not what they tell you to soften your doubts. It shows you whether their actions match their words, whether their loyalty matches your trust, and whether their soul stands beside yours, or merely brushes against it when convenience calls. You cannot force anyone's intentions to be pure, nor can you mold someone into the person you hoped they would be. Truth exposes whether they step toward you or away from you when faced with choice. And when that revelation comes, it liberates you from carrying the burden of wondering, hoping, or trying to decode mixed signals. It gives you solid ground beneath your feet. Even if the truth stings at first, it becomes the foundation on which you rebuild your clarity, your strength, and your self-respect. If they choose another path, another presence, or another night that does not include you, that choice is not a message of your insufficiency. It is a message of their alignment with something other than what you offer. It is their truth, not your failure. And seeing it clearly allows you to reclaim your energy from the places you've scattered it trying to interpret their uncertainty. Truth also reveals your own intentions, your devotion, your sincerity, your willingness to show up fully. It shows whether you were holding on out of genuine hope or out of fear of letting go. It highlights how deeply you care and how much you are willing to give, but it also shows the imbalance when what you give is not received with equal intention. This revelation can be painful because it strips away illusions, but it is also sacred because it brings you back to your worth. With every truth that rises, you gain the opportunity to choose yourself over confusion. You learn to let go of what refuses to choose you. You learn to recognize the difference between someone who values your presence and someone who merely enjoys it when it is convenient. You learn to stop romanticizing potential and start acknowledging patterns. There is an inherent dignity in seeing the truth. It does not bend you, it strengthens you. It lifts the veil from your eyes and gives you the courage to walk forward without clinging to what was never stable. And if the intentions revealed are sincere, loyal, and aligned with your heart, then truth becomes a balm instead of a sword. It confirms what you have hoped and affirms the connection you cherish. But if the intentions exposed are weak, divided, or distracted, then truth becomes a compass turning you away from a path that could only lead to hurt. You are not meant to walk blind. You are not meant to guess at someone's loyalty. You are not meant to carry the weight of uncertainty on your shoulders. Truth reveals intentions clearly so you can move in power rather than attachment. It frees you from the illusions that kept you waiting for clarity from someone who may never have offered it willingly. It delivers the exact knowledge you need to align yourself with people, experiences, and love that reflect who you truly are. And once the truth is spoken, you cannot unknow it. You may try to soften it, excuse it, or reinterpret it, but it will always stand in front of you as a guiding force. Use it not to punish yourself or judge the one whose intentions have been shown, but to step into a higher understanding of your own worth. Truth is not here to destroy anything real. It is here to dismantle what was never meant for you, and to protect what your heart deserves. When intentions are revealed, take the knowledge with strength. Let it shape your next steps. Let it refine your boundaries. Let it teach you what you will no longer accept. And let it lead you toward a connection where intentions are not hidden, where words align with actions, and where the presence of another person is not a source of fear, but a place of peace. Truth will reveal intentions clearly, and when it does, you will not be lost. You will be found. What is not meant for you will fall away, not as punishment or loss, but as a gentle and necessary release, guided by forces that see farther than your present fears. You may feel the sting of something slipping from your grasp, especially when it is something, or someone, you believed would be part of your future. Yet what leaves your life does so because it cannot sustain you, cannot grow with you, or cannot meet you at the depth where your soul is headed. Nothing that is aligned with your purpose will ever vanish without replacement. It only creates space for what is truly meant to arrive. There is a divine intelligence in every departure, even when the departure is silent, confusing, or unexpected. The universe does not remove what is meant to stay. It removes what would eventually break you, distract you, or diminish the fullness of who you are becoming. Often, the things that fall away are the very things you tried hardest to hold on to. You may have given your energy, your patience, your loyalty, and your heart in an attempt to preserve what was already loosening its grip on you. This is not a failure. It is part of the human experience to cling to what feels familiar, even if it no longer nourishes you. But when something repeatedly causes you pain, uncertainty, or self-doubt, it is not meant to be part of your long-term path. What is meant for you will not require endless justification or suffering. What falls away teaches you to stop forcing, to stop chasing what does not choose you, and to stop bending yourself to fit spaces that were never designed for your shape. Letting go does not always feel like liberation at first. It can feel like grief, confusion, or a sudden emptiness where you once placed hope. But with time you come to understand that release is a form of protection. By letting something fall away, you are being shielded from a path that would have led to regret, stagnation, or heartbreak. What is not meant for you cannot stay, even if you want it to. And what is meant for you cannot be stolen, delayed, or redirected, even if obstacles appear along the way. This truth is not meant to diminish your longing. It is meant to give you peace. Peace in knowing that the flow of life always leads you toward alignment rather than away from it. There are connections, opportunities, and experiences that sparkle with potential, but lack the strength to endure. They are temporary teachers, not lifelong companions. They arrive to reveal something about yourself, to illuminate your desires, to strengthen your intuition, or to help you recognize what you truly deserve. When they fall away, it is because their purpose has been fulfilled. Holding on to them beyond their season only creates suffering for you. Release allows growth. Release allows clarity. release makes room for the next chapter that cannot begin while you are still clutching the remnants of the last. This falling away also reveals the truth about your own resilience. You may think you cannot bear the loss, but you can. You may fear that what leaves will never be replaced, but it will. In fact, it will be replaced with something that elevates you rather than drains you, something stable, reciprocal, and aligned with your heart rather than your wounds. The universe does not take without giving. It only removes what blocks the path of what is coming toward you. Even when it feels like everything is leaving, you are actually being prepared for arrival. You are never left empty. You are being cleared, pruned, redirected toward something real, something mature, something worthy of the love and intention you carry. When something falls away, do not chase it. Do not beg it to return. Do not shrink yourself in an attempt to make it fit again. Instead, trust that anything capable of leaving was never meant to be the foundation of your future. Trust that you are being guided. Trust that the removal is an act of mercy, not cruelty. You may not see it now, but in hindsight you will recognize the grace in every ending. What is not meant for you falls away to create space for what is. And when what is meant for you arrives, it will not slip through your fingers. It will stand firm. It will choose you with certainty. It will bring peace instead of confusion, clarity instead of mixed signals, and consistency instead of chaos. You will not need to fight for it to stay. It will stay because it belongs, and you will understand why everything else had to fall away first. Your worth is untouched by someone's choices, no matter how deeply you care for them, or how closely their actions affect your heart. Another person's decisions, whether they choose you, ignore you, drift away from you, or turn towards someone else, are reflections of their inner world, their wounds, their fears, and their level of readiness. They are not a measure of your beauty, your strength, your goodness, or the love you are capable of giving. Too often you may attach your self-value to the behavior of someone you desire or trust, believing that if they hesitate, pull back, or act in ways that cause you pain, it must mean there is something lacking within you. But this is an illusion born of attachment and longing, not truth. People choose based on who they are, not on what you are worth. Your worth is inherent, woven into your being long before you met them, long before any relationship, rejection, or disappointment tried to convince you otherwise. It exists beyond how others perceive you. It does not shrink when someone fails to appreciate you, and it does not grow when someone suddenly recognizes your value. Worth is not something granted by another person's affection. It is something you already carry, independent of external validation. Their inability to see your light does not dim it. Their lack of commitment does not make you less deserving of loyalty. Their confusion does not define your clarity. Their mixed intentions do not reflect your purity of heart. You are whole whether they stay or leave, whether they choose you or choose distraction, whether they rise to meet your level or fall into their own uncertainty. It is natural to feel hurt when someone you care about makes choices that disregard your feelings or create distance. Pain does not mean you lack worth. It means you have a heart capable of deep connection. However, pain can trick you into thinking, if I were better, they would treat me differently. But people do not act according to your value. They act according to their character, their capacity, and the state of their own healing. Someone who is emotionally unavailable cannot give you availability, no matter how worthy you are. Someone afraid of intimacy cannot give you depth, no matter how patient or loving you are. Someone who does not know how to cherish themselves cannot truly cherish someone else, even if that someone is extraordinary. Your worth remains untouched by their readiness. It remains untouched by their doubts. It remains untouched by their inability to recognize what stands in front of them. You cannot lose your value because someone failed to see it. Their blindness is not your burden. Their choices are not your responsibility. You were not created to prove yourself to someone incapable of receiving you. And it is not your job to shrink, chase, or justify your existence in hopes that they might someday awaken to your worth. Anyone who requires you to diminish yourself in order to be chosen is not aligned with your path. When someone chooses another person, another path, or another moment that excludes you, it may strike your heart with a sharp sense of inadequacy. But breathe. This moment is not a verdict on your desirability. It is simply a revelation of where they stand. Their choices reflect what their soul is capable of holding right now. They may choose company that requires less emotional depth. They may choose distractions because facing their feelings is overwhelming. They may choose someone else because they are not brave enough to choose truth. None of this has anything to do with your worthiness of being loved, cherished, and prioritized. It has everything to do with their limitations. There will be people in your life who see your worth the moment they meet you. They will not hesitate. They will not play with your heart. They will not leave you questioning your value. They will meet your energy with equal intensity. They will protect your vulnerability instead of taking advantage of it. And they will choose you, not because you begged, proved, or tried, but because your worth is evident to them without effort. These people exist. They are part of your future. But you cannot meet them if you allow someone else's poor choices to define your self-image. When you detach your worth from others' behavior, you become unshakable. You stop internalizing things that have nothing to do with you. You stop blaming yourself for the emotional immaturity of another. You stop taking their distance personally. You begin to see clearly what relationships genuinely uplift you and which ones drain your spirit. You start to understand that you deserve consistency, intentionality, and genuine presence, not because you need to earn it, but because it is the bare minimum you should receive. Your worth does not fluctuate with someone's affection. It does not vanish when someone walks away. It does not depend on being chosen. Real worth exists within you, silent but powerful, waiting for you to remember it whenever someone's choices try to make you forget. And when you recognize that your value is steady, intact, and undeniable, you stop clinging to people who treat you like an option. You stop negotiating with behavior that hurts you. You stop accepting crumbs. You stop allowing someone else's instability to define your emotional landscape. Your worth is untouched. It always has been. And the moment you truly believe this, the choices of others will stop piercing you as deeply as they once did. Their actions will become information, not a reflection of your value. You will no longer feel broken when someone fails to choose you. Instead, you will feel redirected towards someone who will. And you will see that every moment of doubt, every moment of longing, every moment you gave your heart where it wasn't fully received, all of it will eventually lead you to the profound realization that nothing and no one can diminish your worth. You are protected and guided toward genuine love, even when life feels uncertain, even when your heart aches with questions, and even when you fear that you are walking through emotional terrain alone. There is a force around you that works quietly, consistently, and with a clarity far greater than your own, shaping your path in ways you may not understand yet. Protection does not always look like comfort. Sometimes it looks like distance from someone who would have harmed you. Sometimes it looks like unanswered messages that would have kept you entangled. Sometimes it looks like silence that saves you from deeper heartbreak. And sometimes it looks like a closed door that breaks your heart only to shield your soul. You are being guided even in the moments you mistake for abandonment. The obstacles you face are not random blocks. They are reroutes away from what would drain you and toward what will elevate you. Guidance toward genuine love means that everything not rooted in truth will eventually fall away. Connections built on fear, inconsistency, or emotional instability cannot survive under the protection placed over your life. You may feel frustration as certain people slip from your grasp, but you are being led toward alignment, not disappointment. Each loss, each redirection, each moment that seems unfair is actually clearing your path of relationships that would have kept you small, insecure, or uncertain. Love that is meant for you does not come with anxiety as its foundation. Love that aligns with your destiny does not stand on shaky ground. Love that is genuine grows with you, supports you, respects you, and moves with the rhythm of truth rather than confusion. You are protected from settling for less than what your soul needs. Sometimes that protection arrives in painful ways. Perhaps someone you cared for chooses another path, another person, or another night where you are not included. It can hurt deeply, but even this is part of your protection. Not everyone is meant to accompany you to your next chapter. Some connections are too fragile to bear the weight of your future. Some people are not capable of loving you in the ways you deserve, no matter how much you hoped they would. And rather than allowing you to remain bound to someone who cannot meet you with authenticity, the universe removes them, reveals their intentions, or shows you truth that compels you to walk away. Not because you were unworthy, but because your heart requires something deeper, stronger, and purer than what they could offer. Guidance also means that every experience, good or painful, pushes you closer to the love that is meant for you. Even heartbreak shapes your understanding of what you truly need. Even wrong connections clarify what the right one will feel like. Even disappointment sharpens your discernment, teaching you to recognize patterns, energy, and intentions. Nothing you've gone through is wasted. Every tear, every hope, every lesson becomes part of the map that leads you toward the person who will cherish your emotions instead of exploiting them. Someone who will feel peace in your presence instead of fear. Someone who will not need to be convinced of your value because they will simply see it. You are being guided to a love that is stable, reciprocal, and spiritually aligned. A love where communication flows naturally, where intention is steady, and where your heart is held with care rather than uncertainty. A love where there is no guessing game, no competition, no need to fight for space in someone's life. A love that feels safe because it is safe. This guidance often requires patience in periods of solitude, but solitude itself is protection too. It ensures you do not settle out of loneliness. It ensures you do not cling to connections that would dim your light. It teaches you to trust that your path is unfolding exactly as it should, and that the delays you experience are actually divine timing, ensuring your heart is prepared and guarded until the right soul arrives. Protection surrounds you even when you feel vulnerable. You are not wandering blindly. You are being led, step by step, by intuition, signs, inner nudges, and moments of clarity that appear exactly when you need them. You may disregard them as coincidences, but they are guidance. That uneasy feeling about someone? Guidance. That sudden urge to pull away? Protection. That intuitive knowing that you deserve more? Direction. The universe communicates with you in ways that go beyond logic, steering you toward the connection your soul is meant to experience. You are not meant to walk through life wondering if you will be loved deeply. You are meant to encounter love that feels like coming home. Love that respects your vulnerability. Love that stands beside you, not behind you or in front of you. Love that chooses you without hesitation, and the protection around you ensures that you will not miss it. It ensures that everything incapable of offering that kind of love is removed, exposed, or dissolved, no matter how long you held on to it. This is not punishment. It is preparation. You are guided toward genuine love because you are destined for it. No misstep, no heartbreak, no stolen moment, and no temporary person can derail what is meant for you. The universe does not deprive you, it aligns you, and as long as you continue walking forward, trusting the process even when it challenges you, you will see that every twist, every end, and every silence was leading you toward the connection that will honor your heart fully. You are protected, you are guided, and love, real love, is already on its way to meet you.